Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Spice and Wolf episode number 12 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we were on our way to I forgot the place's name, but the place where they were supposed to go to get the gold. And like Nora and another person like joined them on the journey. And the journey where they went, the going journey was pretty peaceful, compared to what happened when they're coming back. So a few things were established in the previous episode. Number one, Nora's dog actually realizes what type of an entity Holo is, but he's just keeping an eye on her, and like stuff like that. And later on, when they were coming back, Holo realizes that there's apparently a wolf and his group who is actually chasing them, not because of getting food but because of stubbornness. And Holo's like, I need to take care of him, so let me go and teach that youngster a lesson. So Holo went off on her own, while like the others went forward. Lawrence was waiting. Then another thing happens is a few guys come in and they hit Lawrence, and apparently, like the guys we were working for, they betrayed us, and now they are just preying on our downfall so that they can get away with the money. So a lot of things are happening at the same time. So let's see what happens today in this episode number 12. Let's get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Right. Okay, and he can use the fire to cut off the. But it's gonna hurt. Oh god. Okay. Oh, yeah. Right. Hmm. Price of betrayal and price of gold. Oh. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. Slippery. Oh, she's here. So she took care of those wolves? Yeah. Hmm. Oh, she can smell them. Um. Oh, yeah, she was. I was wondering what she had underneath. He was keeping her. Yeah, like she's correct. She could have easily taken care of the situation, but she decided to go along with this plan. Oh, mm. Her tail is wagging. Yeah, I hmm. Yeah, the problem is Nora. Nora will. She's like I was saying. Hmm. Yeah, like it's not that easy. They'll immediately. Oh, condition. Praises. All right. Oh, here we go. Damn, this transformation. Yeah, that is true. Honey pickled peaches. Right. Damn. Yeah. Like she's so big. That's why she's so fast. Like that's why she was like better hold on tightly. Like one of her strides is just equivalent to at least. Hmm. Jump over them. Get off quickly. Okay. Oh. Jump. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, they made sure that they don't see Lawrence. But yeah, now's the time. Yeah, you think you okay? Okay, Enoch is not doing anything. You see that? I think did Enoch realize that this is hollow? Oh no, no, Enoch is like oh damn. Um, what happened? What was that? What was that? Did you like imagine that? Yeah, I think he imagined that. Oh, oh yeah, he was targeting him from the beginning. She was. She's like what? Yeah, they told her that he died. Shut the hell up, you. Yeah. Bro, nobody cares. Nobody cares who betrayed. You were in this. Yo, someone shut this. Shut the hell up, you little piece of. You know what? Let's take all the money and let's just leave. I was just saying that. Bro, they tried to kill you. Oh god. Yeah, that's true, I guess. Okay. Maybe we can blackmail them. Okay. Truth. Smuggle the Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. There wasn't enough gold? Oh my god. Yeah, I see. Right. Interesting. I see. That's what's going on. That is why he was like, we don't have enough money. So we have to go there to increase the value. Otherwise, hmm. Hmm. Where's. Oh, I guess Nora went on. You know what? Thank you. I was like, what's going on? Why is he. Hmm. Yeah, like I said, we'll be basically we will be like the dice are in our hands. We can play it however we like. So buy the gold. Oh. I'll take the money. Rowan, wait. Ah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you try to screw us over. We can screw you. Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Get another 100 more. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Trouble will cost her much. Yeah, I guess not much won't be left. Yeah, I guess. That she won't open her mouth. That. Oh, and the gold. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. What? You didn't ask the question. All right. Hmm. Isn't it? Oh. Oh no, they didn't. Okay, I see. That's interesting. Imagine he called NX name. NX. uh, right. Right. Hmm. You're my partner. Yeah. Oh my god. Bruh. He's gonna get a kick. He's like, your name is shorter. Hey, your tail, come on. Oh my god. Bro. No. Oh no. Okay, well. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, what is this is equivalent to, like that whole trope of confessing in front of a train station or in a firework at the, in the middle of fireworks popping. There you go, he called it. Oh wow, there you go. That was the end of this arc, I'm guessing. That was really good. Is that it? And that was today's episode. That was episode number 12. So that was the first half of the season. I'm guessing, like since this has 24 episodes, after the next episode, from the next episode onwards, it'll be the second half of the whole thing. And I think like they're kind of, I'm guessing, obviously I think they're following whatever source material, the light novel. I do know a few people told me that the first anime that like aired, the first Spice and Wolf, that had a few things that they changed from the source material. For example, there was a girl in there, I remember, who isn't here, like who wasn't in the source material, and instead of her, there's Yare over here, and Yare was supposed to be in the source material. So these like changes they have made here and there to make it more closer to the source material. But I think they're the pace, they're continuing with the same pace as the first anime had. So I'm assuming that they'll probably continue that pace, and the show will probably end at exactly the place where the first anime ended. But I do wonder, I do hope, not wonder, but I do hope that unlike the first anime, which stopped after that, this continues, because this is a lot of fun. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of people will not be, I don't know, like will not like this style of an anime, but I'm genuinely enjoying it. Like this is actually very, very entertaining. So yeah, like I doubt this is going to be like a very big hit in today's like audience, like today's audience state. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a big hit. However, like at least a few people like me and the original fans of this show, hopefully because of us, this continues in the future as well. I do hope that this gets a sequel, because yeah, like I really like this is absolutely amazing. you know and yeah, it's just, I don't know, this feels so real. Like the characters, their interactions with each other is so entertaining. I don't think like I've gotten this entertained by just like the band. Like Hollow and Lawrence's banter is absolutely amazing. Like probably one of my most favorite things in this show. Like I love it. But yeah, yeah, this is going great. So today's episode was basically Hollow. Hollow comes to help Lawrence, and they go off, take care of the whole situation, take care of that guy. And we talk to Nora about what's going on. We tell her that obviously it has to be revealed that Hollow is actually a wolf, all that stuff. And and then we come up with a plan. Now here's a very interesting thing happened in today's episode. That section where Lawrence was like, oh, like we can easily take this goal and run, and they'll be screwed, they'll completely like be bankrupt, and it'll be all over for them. But we won't do that, like, because that will make us the same as them. And I'm like, come on, really? What is this, shonen anime? Like forgive your enemy, that kind of thing is going on here. They literally tried to kill you. Like, I just going to be, just because of that you're just going to let them go and help them out? I was like, okay, like I'm not really like content with this reasoning. But then later, as they were moving forward, Lawrence brings out his original reason for taking that decision, which after hearing that I was like, you know what, yeah, that was smart. Because I was suddenly so flabbergasted. I was like, what's going on? Like like Lawrence like talking about like forgiving them because that will make, like, what's going on? Like, he wasn't a person like that. Like the vibe that I got from this show was not like this. Like if you do something wrong, you're going to get it back. That kind of thing. It's not like, oh, forgive your enemy kind of anime. So like, what's going on? But then when he talked about the whole situation, I realized the problem with the situation is that there wasn't enough gold. They had to go in Ruin Highway either way. They cannot take the gold and run, because there's like, I think they said like there was like 600 gold or something. There was actually 100. So they had to go there to increase the valuation. Otherwise, it'll be a problem. So that is why Lawrence, since Lawrence realized that either way they will have to go, so why not take this opportunity and make a story up like this and be in front of Nora at least and be like, oh, like, we shouldn't stoop that low, this and that, like those, like, like those nice sounding words. He brought those out, and he was like, made a good impression on the whole situation. But in reality, they had to go there either way, so might as well, like, say something like that. Also, as Lawrence said, that it's not that I'm going to forgive them, I am going to be, like, getting the most out of this. They try to, like, like completely destroy us, we will do, like we're also going to do something like that. Yeah, they won't be completely destroyed or bankrupt, but they will have a tough time in clearing out, like, the whole, like, situation. So yeah, so since either way he had to go there, he decided to, like, use this plan and take this opportunity to do something like this, which was, I guess, smart. Like I said, like, I was like, what the hell, why? Like, they literally tried to kill you and you're having sympathy for them, like, come on. But they had to go there either way, there was no other choice, like, they had to go there because there wasn't enough gold. And he came up with an idea, and he talked to Remedio, and made the deal with them and told him to, like, pay back the money to the Rowan's Merchants Association, even if it takes him 10 years or more than that. As he said, like, he's like, I'm an individual person, like, so this debt you will be like, getting is from, you'll be having, your client will be the Rowan Merchants Association, it won't be me, so since it's an association, even 10 years later, they will get it from you. So yeah, it's not like, like, it's not like you'll be able to get away from it, you will have to pay it off eventually. I'm going to read that part properly because I think I understand the basic summary of what happened. I need to properly understand it, like, line by line, as to how the whole thing happened. Like, I understand what happened today, but I feel like I need to properly read it to have a better understanding, which I'll do in the scene by scene discussion section. But for now, let me just talk about the few things that I really liked. So, like, those things happened, and by the end of it, like, everything was okay. So, like, a few things that was really good, like, in this episode, as always, like, you can see, like, that whole section was, like, pretty good, where Hollow transforms into the wolf, and they go in and take care of the situation, makes all those guys run away, and finally Liebert, I think that was his name, gets him, and we then go and help out, like, Nora. Now, here was a very interesting scene that happened in this place, where both Hollow and Nora and Enoch were confronting each other. Like, lightning was falling. Hollow jumped towards them, and like, Enoch jumped towards Hollow. That whole section, lightning was, like, like striking, so Hollow wasn't able to hear whose name Lawrence called at that time. So Lawrence called someone's name, but she didn't hear it. This gets brought up later on. You can see later on when Hollow's like, okay, at that point of time, whose name did you call? Now, obviously, the reason why she asked that question to Lawrence is obviously because that was a situation where it's like a very, like, tense situation. Like, two people are confronting each other, and Lawrence wants to stop them. So whose name would he call? Who would he be more concerned about? Obviously, that is I guess, like, that is probably what she was trying to figure out, or, like, whose name is he likely to call in a situation like that, and, like, it makes sense why Hollow was so, I guess you could say, why Hollow was asking about that, because, of the parent rivalry between Nora and Hollow, like, and also obviously they're shepherd and wolf, so, like, like, in every aspect they are kind of rivals. So in that sense, like, Hollow, I guess, asked that question to Lawrence, And then again follows a whole section of full-on banter. Like I said, I absolutely love like Lawrence and Hollow's banter all the time. And Lawrence was like, at first Lawrence was like, your name, at which Hollow realized, I was like, yeah, wait, you're lying. Because she's a wolf, she can understand, she can, like feels if someone's lying or not. Like I said, it makes sense because, like since like lying, how you detect someone's lying is change in their blood, like, like their blood flow, their eyes contracting, expanding, like how they, a lot of other like things indicate if someone's lying or not. Heartbeat increase. So Hollow being a wolf, that is how I'm guessing she is able to understand if someone's lying or not because of her keen senses. So as soon as Lawrence said that, she immediately realized he's lying, at which she thought that if he's lying, that would mean that he called Nora's name, which pissed her off, and that's why she starts punching him. At which he says like, no, the truth is I don't remember whose name I called, which makes sense, fair enough, because that was like a very tense situation at that point of time. Like he probably called both their names at some point or the other, but he just forgot whose name he called first and who was, who did he shout, whose name he shouted out. He probably forgot that at that tense situation, so that's why he's like, I don't remember. And that is why, since he didn't remember and he still said that it was Hollow, it was a lie. That is why. That And then he says like, but I think I called your name. Now this part is hilarious because after this, he says that, oh, you know why I'm confirmed that I'm going to call your name. And I was like, okay, he's probably going to say because you are my partner or something. He says it's because your name is shorter. And it's easier to call your name than Nora's name. Hollow and Nora, I guess it's the same, but I can see that Hollow's name is way more compact compared to Nora, even though Nora's name is also pretty compact and small. I can see that. But at that point of time, I was like face palming and I'm like, oh my god. Now, I don't know if Lawrence like genuinely said that or he knew that Hollow's going to react like this. That is why he deliberately said that just to tease her. I'm not really sure what he did. Was he really that dense or did he know and he deliberately said that just to get a rise out of her? I think it's probably the latter. He knew like how she's going to get pissed off, and that's why she deliberately said that reasoning. And then later on, when Nora's coming in, Hollow's like, "Oh, say my name," because obviously this situation, almost the same. Nora's there, Hollow's there, so she's like, "Call my name," and again, Lawrence waits for the opportune moment when the clock is going to strike and when the bell is going to ring. He calls someone's name, and you know what's funny? Hollow probably would have realized whose name he called if she didn't perk up her ear. Since she perked up her ear, at that point of time, the bell rung. It affected her so much because her hearing is so loud. She had to cover her ear and put her head away. In my opinion, if she didn't perk up her ear, she probably would have seen Lawrence's mouth and read his lips, and probably realized whose name he called. Since she didn't do that, since she perked up her ear, the ringing of the bell hurt her ear so much she had to look away, and that's why in no way did she figure out whose name he called. Like I feel like she could have gathered whose name he called if she just observed him and read his lips, but she wasn't able to do that at that point of time because the bell rang so hard she had to like just move her head away, and she completely missed that scene. And yeah, now it's funny to see because usually it's Hollow who's the one who's getting a rise of Lawrence, but this time taking this opportunity, Lawrence completely like just yeah like got a rise out of Hollow. Um, yeah, but then in the end he causes Hollow. He's like, like yeah. Right. And there you go. And that's where it ended. It's a great episode. And yeah, end to this arc. So let's see what happens from here onwards. Okay, now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. Like I said, there's a few things I need to properly understand. I'm going to read those sections. But before that, the very first scene, you can see Lawrence uses. I actually thought they were going to show Hollow fighting that wolf or something happened. Oh wait, you know what? I'm going to read that part. I think I kind of missed something. I'll read that part. While reacting, I think I missed something. Something went over my head. I'm going to read that part to properly understand. So okay, first of all, Lawrence uses the fire to cut off the rope. That was tying his hand. Obviously, it was properly tightly tied, and since he used the fire, his hand also kind of burnt a little bit, got burnt. So still he's able to break off the rope, and he starts running towards Hollow, and you can see he puts, like, I didn't understand at first what was there underneath his jacket, but then I realized like it was Hollow's thing. So he put it underneath his jacket and started running towards Hollow, and then he's like running, and then he falls flat on his face, and it's muddy, it's slippery, that's why. And then Hollow comes in, and Hollow's like, yeah, like, I can kind of guess what happened to you, and what they did, and Lawrence is like, yeah, they betrayed us. Yeah, and she's like, you didn't need to do all of this, I would have come to you eventually. And yeah, and then she gets the jacket thing that she wears from Lawrence, and she's like laughs. She's like, come on, like, like you like, even with all the things that were happening, you decided to try to keep it dry and put it in underneath your jacket. Yeah, so here we go. Okay, a few things Hollow says here. Okay, now I'm going to read this part a little bit. First thing Hollow says is that, let me say something, I may kill humans. And she says, I believed I could not continue my carefree journey with you without the success of this plan. So yeah, so here's the thing. Like, Hollow said this multiple times before as well. She said, like, let us run away, let us get out of here, like even if there's a death, who cares, that kind of thing. And she could have easily done something to take care of the situation as well. However, obviously since this is Lawrence would not allow her to go through those paths or take those paths. That's why she knew that Lawrence is not going to accept that whole thing, running away or doing something like, drastic. She knew Lawrence won't be happy with that. That is why she said that is why I thought that to continue peacefully journeying with you, the success of this plan is necessary, because this was the only way which Lawrence would be okay with, and that Hollow would be able to continue on the journey. But as Hollow says, that it's not that I had no other choice. I had a lot of other options. I could have easily brought you out of that whole mess. Which is true, I guess. As she says, I may kill humans. If she like wiped out a few of those guys, I don't know, and just run away with Lawrence, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have been able to get us. But as she says, Lawrence won't be happy with that, and Lawrence won't accept that plan. So that she can peacefully journey with Lawrence, she decided to go along with this plan. But now that the whole things have gone south, she's like, yeah, like, now I'm not happy about this. And she's saying, that is why I kept my patience. I am the wise wolf Hollow. I can casually forgive the arrogance of a youngster. Okay, so this is what happened, I'm guessing. So I thought Lord Hollow's going to fight with that wolf. So they didn't fight. Did she, like, as she said, I forgive, I can forgive the, like, the arrogance of a youngster? Is that what she did? She just forgave him and went away, and I'm guessing the wolf, like, is that what happened? I'm not really sure exactly what happened with the wolf, but I'm from this sentence, that's what I'm guessing, because she literally says here that I can casually forgive the arrogance of a youngster, and then they cut to that scene where we see that wolf and Hollow standing there. So I'm guessing nothing much happened there. Like, I thought they were going to fight or something, but I guess they just stand and stood there, and Hollow probably talked to him, and the wolf probably was like, you know what, whatever, and just left. Is that what happened? Or the wolf probably realized that Hollow's way stronger than him, and that is why he decided to back out. Maybe something like that happened. Because from this, it seems like she didn't fight with him. Okay, and she says like, forget about that. I'm the wise wolf hollow. I'm not that angry about getting on my knees. Oh no, wait. Oh, I see. No, she compromised. I think that's what happened. That is why she's so frustrated. So as she says, I am not angry about getting on my knees. So in front of that wolf, I think she probably said that just leave us alone. And did she like go on her knees and ask them to just leave them alone? Because I that's what I was thinking. I was like, did that wolf just like leave like that? It didn't seem like he's going to leave. It seemed like he's ready to fight. So how did this happen? Like like just like everything go on so peacefully. So that is why Hollow was frustrated. So as she says, I'm the wise wolf follow. I'm not that angry about getting on my knees. So that's what happened. She probably like even though it was very easy it would have been very easy for her to probably like fight that wolf and kill him. She decided not to do that, to continue on the peaceful journey with Lawrence. And that's why she said like, I'm not that angry about getting on my knees, because that's probably what she did. Okay, so yeah, I think that's what happened. Anyways, yeah, and then she talks about like how Lawrence is like this, however she still kept the thing dry. And she's like saying like, what an utter fool, unsavable, and she's like saying stuff like this. But you can see, even though she's crying and everything, her tail is wagging, obviously, which kind of shows that deep down inside she's pleased, she's happy about like Lawrence's, I guess you could say, Lawrence's feelings. That's why her, like, while she was saying all of this, her tail was constantly like, wagging like this. I guess obviously indicating that she's happy. Okay, so then after that, Hollow's like, all right, so let's take care of it. The leader must take responsibility for the betrayal. So according to her, she's like, let's go back to Rubenhagen and take care of Remerio. However, Lawrence is like, no, like let's go and help Nora, otherwise she might get killed, And and at first, Lawrence Hollow wasn't really, like, yeah, Lawrence wasn't. Sorry, Hollow wasn't really, like, what can I say, like, accepting of that. She was like, come on, like, I cannot go and do anything in that situation because she's a shepherd. Like, we are like enemies, like in no way can I do something about the situation. She's immediately going to attack me, So Hollow wasn't really happy about this plan, but Lawrence was like, please, like, I cannot sleep in peace knowing that an innocent person who got involved in the situation because of me got killed, so I cannot do that. Please help out. And he even says that, I'll thank you for it. She says, how? He says that as long as you don't ask for Nora's life, I'll do everything I can to fulfill your wishes. In the end, she was like, you know what, fine, come on, let's go. And then she does say that I agree with this, like, your proposal. However, I cannot guarantee the lives of those who have gotten murdered. So basically, she's saying that, like, those guys who, like, those guys who annoyed us, who betrayed us, like, I cannot guarantee their lives. At which Lawrence is like, it's fine. You can do what you want. Even so, I believe in you. Which is, as Hollow says, is a very crafty way of just saying that I have faith in you. You do what you do. Which is basically like, she just, like, like, even though she said that I cannot guarantee their lives, Lawrence literally took that and threw it back into her court. And he's like, yeah, you can do what you want, but I have faith in you. I know that you're not going to do that. Which is like as that's why the Hollow said, like, you got like very crafty with your like words. I can see that, because that's literally like he literally like put it on Hollow. He's like, yeah, okay, you can do what you want, but I trust you. You won't do it. Something like that. Either way, she takes off her dress and she's like, all right, I'm going to transform now. Close your eyes. She takes the wheat and transform into the wolf. And then she's like, get on me, grab my fur as tight as you can, it won't hurt me, don't worry. but you better grab onto it, otherwise you're going to get just whipped off, off my back, because of the air current. And and then she says, like, if you fall down, I'm going to grab you with my mouth and I'm going to carry you like that. So best be prepared to hold on to my fur as tight as you can. So they start there, like, she starts like running, and obviously this is Hollow's big, in her wolf form. And the way, like, obviously she's a wolf, she can run extremely fast, and the fact that she's so big, her strides are extremely long, so the speed is high, extremely high. I'm guessing like one wolf's no, I'm guessing at least 10 a wolf's 10 strides probably equals to Hollow's one stride. One jump of Hollow equals to 10 jumps of normal sized wolves, and wolves themselves are pretty damn fast. So you can probably just imagine how fast Hollow was running. Like, absolutely insane. And she keeps running, and Hollow says, like, okay, I'm going to jump above them and go just behind them and drop you off over there, then I'm going to do my job. Obviously they cannot let, like, them realize that Lawrence is there. They need to make it as if, like, Lawrence came from some other direction or something. So he goes and jumps over them, drops Lawrence over there, and goes and starts attacking those guys. And during this commotion, Lawrence comes and calls out to Nora. Yeah, now this guy Liebert, I think that's his name, he is like, oh my god, a wolf, like, like all the others ran away, and he's like, Nora, like, I'll give you, how much did he say, like 60 or 50 Lumione, something like that? Where's that part? Oh, hey, wait. If you protect me, I'll pay 300 Lumione. Oh my god, that's okay. Bruh. If you protect me, I'll pay you 300 Lumione. That is a lot. Either way, he's like, I'll give it, so I leave it to you. And like, Nora's like ready, Enoch is ready. And now here something happened. Now I didn't really understand this part at the beginning, what happened. But this was Lawrence thinking that something like this might happen. So this actually didn't happen. So, like, Hollow starts running and whacks Enoch away, and then, like, bites or eats, like, Nora. But that was something that, like, Lawrence was imagining. He was imagining something like this might happen. Like, it was a fear. Like, he had full trust in, obviously, Hollow, but at the same time, there's a part of him that was thinking maybe something like this might happen. So, he wasn't sure about the whole confrontation. But then what actually happens is that Hollow jumps towards them, and Enoch was also going to jump towards Hollow, and like, Nora goes and grabs Enoch, and she's like, stop, Enoch, like, and then they realize that Hollow wasn't really targeting them, he was targeting Liebert. So, and at this at this moment, when the lightning struck, Lawrence called out one of their names. So yeah. Either way, this is where Lawrence comes in, and he's like Nora, and Lawrence like, wait, what? Like, how are you alive? They said that you died. And then he says, like, oh, this is my companion Hollow, and Hollow comes in and with Liebert, in the mouth, and yeah, she hadn't killed him, and just like, knocked him out and brought him in front of Lawrence. Okay, so Lawrence got the gold, kept it with him, and I'm guessing this is where he realized that there's less amount of gold, and this is probably where he made up the plan, where he would be like, okay, like, because they had to go into Wimhagen either way to increase the money, the valuation, and since there's so less amount of, like, gold, this. Now a lot of things make sense later on. So basically, one of the things that he said, when Liebert said that we don't have enough money to pay you guys, that's why we decided to just wipe you guys out, that whole thing, it actually, we get to know that that's actually true, because the amount of gold he was able to save was like 100, even though he said it was like 600 or something, so he didn't have enough to pay us. So that is why he decided to just cut us off. That was like the whole plan. Either way, Nora has a lot of questions. He asks a lot of questions to Lawrence, and Lawrence answers a few of the questions. Yeah, and then he, like, the guy, Liebert, I think his name, he wakes up. Yeah, Liebert. Hollow just whacks and just stomps on his leg. Okay, so and now he's like, oh, like I told him to stop. I wasn't, for this whole thing. I was against it. And Lawrence is like, come on, don't lie. Hollow here can understand if you're lying or not. So lying won't work. At which he, in the end, says that, oh, the amount we needed to pay you was too high. As things stood, our own debts would eat up the remaining profit. So basically, that's why he's like, oh, that's why we decided to cut you off. Remiro told me to do something about it. I had no choice but to act. You're also a mercenary. Yeah, so Liebert is the one who did all of this, but at the same time, Remiro also knew something like this he would do. So basically, both of them are at fault. Obviously, Remiro didn't really tell him to do something like this, but he very much knew that something like this had to be done. So he's also at fault. Same with Liebert. He's the one who came up with this whole plan, I guess. That means, and yeah. So Remiro was indirectly connected to this, while he was directly connected. And he then starts making excuses. He's like, oh, you are a merchant, you should know me. And he just punches him, and he's like, shut the hell up. We're not the same. Right. Yeah. So then Lawrence tells Nora that they also plan to kill you, this and that. Okay, so he says that the gold is worth 600 Lumione coins. We've been betrayed. We could give up the smuggling and just run with the gold. Now here's the thing. I was also like, yeah, that's a better idea. But I completely forgot that the reason why they were smuggling gold is because the gold valuation will increase. Completely forgot about that. But it is true. I guess if they really had 600 Lumione coins worth gold, Lawrence probably would have decided to take that and probably dip. Give Nora her portion and just go away. But we get to know later on that that wasn't the case. There wasn't enough gold to remove all the debt. They had to go there. That is why he tells a very well crafted lie over here. Not a lie, but very well crafted thing here. He says that however, it's true we wouldn't have been able to get this gold without the funds from the Remiro trading. If we run away with the gold, they will go bankrupt. And you can see Hollow's not happy about it. I was like, what are you talking about? Screw them. And I was like, yeah, what are you talking about? They literally tried to kill you. Screw them. So you can see Hollow nudging him. And he says things aren't over after getting revenge on them for the betrayal. They might try to get revenge on them. Right, so there you go. Like I said, I wasn't really happy with this. I was like, right, okay, just forgive them like that, just because of morals and all that. I was thinking. Anyways, here, I'm guessing Hollow realized there's something going on, so she doesn't say much. She's like, okay, whatever, yeah, sure. And then when they are alone, when they give Nora the gold, and they move, because obviously Nora needs to have the gold, otherwise she won't be able to smuggle it in. That was the main point of the whole thing, to smuggle in the gold to the sheep. So he gave it to Nora, and they're moving on and on. And this is where Hollow says that, tell me the truth, what actually happened. That wasn't the full truth that you said. And this is where I was like, okay, I see, that makes sense. This wasn't him just taking sympathy on them. This was a well-crafted plan that he came up with, which was necessary. So he says, so he gave Nora the gold, and he told her that I'd let you decide what to do with the gold. Only if you smuggle the gold into Ruinhagem, it will rise. Its availability and rise tenfold. And otherwise, 6,000 Lumione. With that money, we could save both ourselves and Remiro trading. That is what he said. and then Hollow's like, so what's the actual, like, what's going on actually? Why did you like say stuff like this? He says like there wasn't enough gold. So basically, there wasn't anywhere near 600 Lumiere. It was closer to 100 Lumiere. And you can see underneath the gold, there's like rocks. So Hollow says if you split the gold with her, it would barely be enough to pay off your debt. Yeah, there would be no profit if we did not smuggle it in. So we had to get it in there, otherwise it won't increase in valuation. We'd been screwed completely. And which also answers the question why Remedio tried to do something like this, because he didn't have enough money to pay us. That's why he was like, oh, let's cut them off completely. And yeah, and Lawrence says that is like probably why he agreed to this plan in the first place, because he from the beginning he planned on just cutting us off, make use of us and cut us off. I was like, wow, that was a very good excuse that you made. And Lawrence said that, come on, it wasn't fully truth. I can say I understand that, but it wasn't full lie as well, So, and then they, like, Lawrence starts riding on Hollow's back. They start going towards Ruinhagen, and Lawrence says a few other things. He says we're not really saving Remedio, trading for their own sake, to further our own profits as well. Okay, so Lawrence says like, leave the rest to me. You guys, you go and have a little drink. So she goes to a tavern and is drinking. Okay, so now I need to read this part. I need to understand what exactly happened. Lawrence comes in and tells Remedio. Remedio says 500, and he says like, yes, I'd like you to buy the gold we smuggled in. Okay, I see, for 500 Lumione. So 100 Lumione was worth. Oh no, wait. Yeah, it was 100 Lumione's worth, wasn't it? The gold? But I guess if he brought it here, it's going to increase in valuation. Okay. So he says like, I'd like you to buy the gold we smuggled in for 500 Lumione. I provided enough money for 100 Lumione. How could I pay 500? And he says, oh, too expensive? Then let's see. I'll take the money you prepared to run with and sell the gold to someone else. Right, so she's basically like, I'm going to sell it to someone else. You can split the payment over 10 years. No, wait, I don't understand this part. What? Split the payment over 10 years. Created a large trading company. I'm sure 500 Lumione will be nothing to him. Okay, so yeah, he gives him like 10 years. Like statement of debt. Oh, I see. So he literally did the same thing that they did to him. Like in a way, because Lawrence got those armor for credit, like debt. He didn't have the money at that point. Just got it for from like, yeah. Like he owed them money. That's how he was like thinking like, okay, I'll make a profit out of it, then I'll be able to pay them back. So he's doing the same thing to him basically, and he's like, I'll give you 10 years to pay back the money. And that's why he says like, who will be owed the money? He's like, yeah, will I be paying it back to you? Like who? And he says like, oh no, it's not me, it's the Rowan Merchant Association. I may not be able to collect all 500 Lumione as an individual, but if it's an organization, association, you should be able to collect it within full 10 years. I see. So okay, I see, that's what happened. So basically he got that whole thing from him, like that debt contract or whatever. So okay, this is a bit complicated. So Lawrence has a debt. To pay that debt off, he needs money. Remedio has a debt. To pay that debt off as well, he's going to take money from Lawrence. That was the plan, obviously, but obviously that wouldn't be enough. So that is why this whole plan of smuggling in gold. Now both of them has money, and Lawrence is like, since he has the upper hand here, he's like, okay, so basically what will happen is like you'll buy 100 lumiones worth gold from, like for 500 lumione, and the rest of the amount that you don't have, you will owe that not to me but to the Rowan Association, Merchants Association, and I'm giving you 10 years. So use it, like for now it'll be a debt. Use the amount of money you have, increase your profit, increase your business, get your profit, and then in that 10 years, slowly pay them back. So this is how, I guess, in a way, everyone got what they wanted. Rowan, the association, he will owe them money, so he will have to pay them back eventually. But now that he doesn't have the money, he can use this money to increase his business, while at the same time, since Lawrence sold 100 lumiones worth gold to him for 500 lumione, he will be able to pay back his debt as well. And yeah, so basically we are like Rowan's association is like the key thing here. He will owe them money and he will have to pay them back later. For now it's okay, I think. It's fine. Like they have given them 10 years, something like that. And Lawrence also won't be in any more debt anymore, because like he won't be owing Remerio any money, but Remerio will be owing the Rowan Association money. That's why Lawrence will be debt free, and maybe make a little bit of profit as well. But in the end, as you get to know, after paying off Nora and doing all the other stuff, they won't really have that much left. So basically they're not getting any profit out of it. Yeah, okay. And then after that, this guy, I forgot his name, the guy who is like Lawrence's father, he's like, oh, come, good job coming back, to your home. It's like hugging him and everything. Okay, so he gets the debt contract, and he's like, okay, you managed to come up with something like this when you had no money. What kind of bad things you do? And he's like, oh, just managed to bring in some gold, literally. Right, okay, so he buys off that from him. I'll buy this loan off of you. It's worth 30 lumione up front. You'll get another 101 once a minute. So yeah, basically for now he's going to get 30 lumione, but when they'll be able to pay back all the debt, he'll be getting 100 from them. I see. So interesting. Yeah, I think I understand. So basically, since Lawrence became the via, the person between them, because the whole transaction went through him, he will get 30 lumione now. Later on, after they pay back all the money, he'll get 100 lumione. So this is the situation. Remerio took a loan for now, and he will have to pay that back to Rowan Association, but he has 10 years, so he can increase his business, get profit, and then little by little pay it back, but Rowan Association will be getting money from him. He will owe them money, and that debt contract, Lawrence became the middleman, got it from him and sold it to this guy, and he's like, okay, it's a good deal. For now, I'm going to give you 30 for this loan, because obviously since he's a middleman, he needs a little bit of commission, I guess, profit. So he gave him 30 lumione now, and he's like, you'll get more after he pays back his whole debt. Out of that, the gold that we get, we'll give you 100 lumione worth, money. So that's the whole thing. I think I understand. Okay. And that is why Lawrence says later on that there's no profit in this, because he got 30 lumione now. It's not nearly enough to get a profit. It probably is going to be just enough to be okay. He won't be making any profit out of this. Later on, maybe when he gets 100 lumione, maybe then it'll amount to a little bit of profit. But for now, they're still broke, basically. But at least they're debt free. That's the point. That is the whole point of this whole thing. So yeah, and later on she talks to Hollow, and he says with the trouble we caused the Merchant Association, the debt payment, Nora's share as well, I forgot about that as well. and a few other things. We're broken. We're broke, yeah. I forgot how much did Lawrence say that he's going to pay Nora? I completely forgot that. He did say something to Nora in one of the previous episodes. I'm going to pay you this amount. I forgot what amount it was. But either way, at the end of the day, there's no profit basically. I remember like Hollow said that I want honeyed apricots or something like that. She said. I guess it'll be a little bit more time. It'll take a little bit of more time to get her honeyed apricots. Yeah, and he says like these profits were what allowed us to recover from the loss, all that stuff. Either way, here Hollow wants to say something to Lawrence. Yeah, but she doesn't really ask anything. She kind of hesitates. Either way, she moves forward, and then when they're moving, like walking, this is where Hollow decides to ask the question, and they're like, this is the whole banter section where she asks like, oh, like you called someone's name, one of their names. Whose name was it? I was like, it'll be funny. Obviously, that's not the case, but it'll be hilarious if Lawrence said like, oh, I actually called Ennek's name. Neither of you. That would have been hilarious. But either way, Hollow's like, whose name did you call? And he's like, oh, your name. At which Hollow's like, you're lying. And he's like, yeah, like, but I'm pretty sure it was your name. I don't remember, but I'm 100% sure I called your name. And I was gonna say, like, when Hollow's like, why? I was thinking he was gonna say like, oh, because you're my partner or something like that. He's like, oh, because your name is shorter and it's easier to say at that point of time. Now, again, I don't think he's this dense, but I'm pretty sure Lawrence did this deliberately to just get a rise out of Hollow, because it's usually Hollow who teases Lawrence and gets a rise out of him. So he took this opportunity to say something like this and be like, oh, because your name is shorter, that's why I called your name. And Hollow gets pissed. She starts punching him and she's like, you fool, like, because my name is short, you called me, And yeah, either way, and then she moves forward and she sees like Nora's coming and she's like, okay, call my name now. At which Lawrence is like, okay, you know what? Brace yourself. I am going to call your name. And he waits for the perfect moment when this clock is going to strike. It strikes. You can see he says that, okay, now I'm going to say it. As soon as he says it, she perks up her ears, and since the bell rings, and she can hear pretty damn well, because she's a wolf. It hurt her ears, so she had to cover her ears and move away her face, so she didn't again understand whose name Lawrence called, and she missed that opportunity. And like I said, this is pretty funny because this really reminded me of the modern equivalent trope which we see in so many animes, where the freaking characters go in front of a train station to confess, and the moment that someone confesses, the freaking train comes in and nobody can hear anything. Or like in the fireworks festival, they confess exactly at the time when a fireworks blow, and makes a lot of noise, so this is like that equivalent. I wonder if this is where the trope started. This whole trope of confessing in a train station or like a fireworks festival, this is like something similar to that. Either way, Hollow gets pissed and she goes angrily towards Lawrence. Yeah, and then Nora comes in, and then in the end he does call her. He calls Hollow's name, and he's like, Hollow's definitely much easier to say, and Hollow's like, you fool. And that's where it ended. So yeah, that was today's episode. Great episode. Like I said, I loved the conclusion to this whole thing, and everybody got what they deserved, and things. Yeah, he didn't make any type of profit from it, but at least, as he says, his debts are gone. And a lovely little banter with Hollow in the end. So yeah, so that is it. That was my reaction to this episode 12. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Spice and Wolf. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.